jump into it.
Straight into it as well. I mean, this one is a super important game for both these two teams. These teams are ones that want to advance to that bracket play. You lose this game, you have no more opportunities to lose, Brody.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, your lifelines are kind of slowly already depleting here in the Swiss stage, and this is a massive matchup for both of these two teams. Again, Galoris, you know, trying to prove to people that, hey, they should not be an underrated team. For Godlike, I mean, much really in the same spot, right, Tut, for the most part? I mean, Godlike are a team that obviously made that miracle run last year, and I think since then, I think people underestimate them.
Yeah, I think both teams are kind of in that bracket of they could threaten to win it. Do we think they will? I'm not 100% sure. That's kind of where we got both these two teams.
Don't say that's
right?
Godlike fans, mate.
No, well, okay. I might be getting some tweets, and some people might be saying some things in the chat, but I've too long on the tooth these days for that, Brody. I don't care. So here we are into this game. Godlike into the lead. A nice start for them over towards P1, but P2 coming up very, very shortly. You can see Galoris already on their way over. Godlike do have somebody pushing over towards this back side, though, so keep an eye on that to clear that one out. It's a nice rotation coming through on the side of Godlike in the end. Galoris have some work to do here, Brody.
Yeah, that is a big pick against the Beast. That means the back spawns will be good for Galoris here, but what won't be good is Trunks coming through the front of the hardpoint, picking up not just 2, but 3 kills. Godlike, just as quickly as they lose control of the hardpoint, they regain it. And that's going to send spawns a little bit buck wild there. Galoris spawning out all across the map. Now fights going on for these spawns. It is going to be Galoris that will ascertain them, but sometimes getting up that driveway is actually kind of difficult, especially as they're going to be operators very soon to get for Godlike.
I'm having to rub my eyes at some of those spawns coming through towards that backside there. Both the teams having a battle with it. But Godlike ultimately the ones who are coming out on top. Still 30 seconds to play for here over towards the garage, and it is most of the kills going over towards Godlike, make it now 3 coming through for Learn. Really big plays coming in for Godlike. It's been such a good start for them. P1, they got a good amount of time. P2, the majority. Even in amongst the chaos, they've done extremely well to find themselves in this position. Rotation over towards Fences in just a second, which is definitely a little mixier than what we get over towards the garage. Let's see if any team can really get some sort of control. But for Galoris, that's 4 points on the board after 2 hills.
Yeah, and a reminder again, they did just get the rotation on towards P2 and pretty much lost it straight away, right? So just because they're over here on Fences does not mean that they will get control, and it's also worth saying that Fences, just on the whole, is a really mixy hardpoint. To get a wealth of time on it is pretty rare. This, of course, is the hardpoint where we're going to start to see some of the investment coming through from the operators as well. Neutrino, the player that Godlike didn't expect to be playing for the roster, of course. Skull Guy, unfortunately, not able to attend here at Champs once again. He's going to bring out the War Machine, but it's not going to amount to all that much. Claw instead for a Bees is good for the kill against Lucasin, and there's the follow-up from Neutrino. So Godlike, again, on the offensive against Galoris, they're not getting much time from this hill.
Yeah, it just seem to really be pressing the issue as much as they can. Haven't really seen too much from Galoris. Just to be honest, in Hardpoint, I think even in their game previously, yeah, okay, we've seen them up against Tribe, but they made mincemeat of them. But other than that, when they have come up against the elite teams, it has been a bit of a struggle. But saying that, there is still plenty of Call of Duty still to be played, and they will get a little bit of control over towards that scrap time. 7 seconds remaining. They're going to pick that up for their most significant points of the game. They only had 4 by the time they got here. They're leaving with 39.
Yeah, it's something, isn't it? You know, Galoris, what, quadrupled, octupled? Is octupled a word? I don't know. It will make it a word, wherever it is. Whatever 8 times is, someone tweet me. That's what Galoris have done. They've certainly expanded their scoreline here. Godlike, though, be careful. They've already got control of Nu. Good investment of the Predator missile coming through from Fokke. That's going to give Galoris a chance here, but you need to see some heroics from Henry Cat. That is going to be close. Operators now invested from Galoris as well. Fokke, what damage can they do? Trunks on the other side with the Purifier. There's the equalizers from Prevail too. It's Annihilator now as well. It's Operators galore here.
Everybody investing. It felt like it was Godlike getting the better of it, but Lucasin's just pulled 3 out of his back pocket. And manages to find one to help him along the way, and 25 seconds to play for still here over towards the rock hard point. Galoris were there. Godlike very quickly get rid of them though. For all the investment for both two teams, it felt like Galoris were the ones coming out on top, but Godlike are the ones in control. 13 seconds to play for, the end of the first rotation incoming. If you're a Godlike fan, you're liking what you're seeing. Really good rotation out of them, which really just started at P1, P2, chipped away since then. Really, really good start to this hard point.
You could say you Godlike what you're seeing, you know?
All right, it's too easy that you probably shouldn't have done it.
Godlike feeling pretty good about themselves at the moment. 70 points to the good over Galoris. You'll be very happy with the way the start of the hardpoint, I think especially, has gone thus far. Galoris, really, the only good look they've had is that Fences hardpoint, which, to be fair, they did get a lot of time out, more than teams usually do. But you have to be careful. You don't find yourselves too deeply out of this game this quick. Godlike already amounting a lot of time on P1. Galoris trying to desperately fight back through. Mihawk with a double up top. Of course, he was a player at the start of the day that had a phenomenal start on that Summit hardpoint. So if he can heat things up for Galoris here, they'll be right back in this game.
Trying to get something going. I think the thing is, when you see a scoreline like this, you sometimes count the other team out far too early. We know that. I mean, we've casted many hardpoint games over, not just this season, but over the past, what, 10, 30 years with myself. So, I mean, that makes me feel old. But how many times you see teams come back, a full 60 against this Galoris team, immediately back into this game. They're finding some good time at P1. The scrap time is there. The rotation is not. But if they can find a break, find a full 60, we've got a game on our hands.
Yeah, and that's never been more true than here on Hacienda, right? Hacienda kind of lends itself to these comebacks, if you will. All it takes is one good break, as you said, and then the follow-up hardpoint control, and you are right back in the conversation. Hell, I mean, Elevate showed us that at CDSI. So Galoris still in a chance. Never count them out, especially with how good of a team they are. But right now, Godlike are leading this conversation, and they're also leading hardpoint control as well. Backspawn still looking pretty good. Infiltration from Fokke with the R9. Not a lot of effectiveness with it, though. Galoris are going to hit this front over and over again. They're going to run right into the operators of Godlike. On the other side, though, Mihawk with the claw. How much damage can you do? A second kill for Mihawk. Any more on the platter, it's good at the very least to get Galoris in.
Yeah, there's the break with about 30 seconds remaining here on Garage. 80 seconds has now been broken. If they can pick up this decent amount of time here on the scrap, which is looking like it's going to pretty much be given to them by Godlike as the rotation over towards fences starts to come through. Galoris are closing that gap. And investing the Sparrow for the transition over towards the next hill. He is going to fall, though, so I wasn't too sure if that was remaining from the Garage hill, but yeah, either way, a questionable investment if that was the case. But a bit of a split spawn here. Things are about to get very, very mixy when things do pop in 3 seconds over towards fences. I
got to say here very quickly that Godlike, I really like the way that they played that off the back of that. They didn't invest too much in towards scrap time. They were trying to cut Galoris off on the rotation for the middle of the map. So great map awareness coming out of Godlike, but now as we get towards the next hill, here we go. Godlike looking to hold on towards this hardpoint. Galoris, though, they're starting to get the kills here, Tom.
Yeah, they were slow into this game, but they very much have went toe-to-toe with Godlike over the last 4 or 5 hills. Closing that gap ever so quickly. War Machine's out. The Annihilator was there for Lucas Jane as well, not quite operating at the same time now, but oh, you did see the investment of the equalizers coming through, getting nothing, but everybody else from Galoris is. 25 seconds remaining here over towards fences. This was the start of the comeback and the start of their hardpoint of the previous rotation, and they are getting things going here as well.
Yeah, it definitely feels like this is the hardpoint where Galoris are feeling most comfortable right now. There's not a lot that Godlike have had to say. Neutrino will find one, but immediately you trade it out here. With 10 seconds left, you're still going to hit this one if you're a Godlike. I mean, why not? You've got the back spawns. You've got a clear path towards the next hardpoint, but Galoris are still winning the trades at the moment. And we said it, right? Galoris can still come back into this hardpoint. Hacienda lends itself to it. Well, look at this scoreline. Galoris now just 10 points away.
Streaks available for Lucas Jin. They're starting to come through as well, and Galoris will need to still continue to be good. Things have slowed down for Godlike, but we know in the blink of an eye, the same can be said for them. They can find a full 60 and put this game out of sight, but Lucas Jin will find 2 out of nothing, as he just so often does, but Prevail equalizes out over towards the balcony side of Rock. It's very, very difficult to find a push. He's just going to try and linger around. Hen will find 2, but this is just where you do not want the enemy equalizer. He finds 2, the third there for the cut. Brilliant plays from Prevail. Godlike in control.
Godlike looking to bring this one home. They've let Galoris back into the conversation. Now they need to silence them once more. And Neutrino being all sneaky-like, waiting for the perfect time to strike. He's found it in behind. He's going to get some team shots in as Trunks is the one to finish off not just 2 kills, but the third as well. Galoris now at the back of the spawn. Going to have to find a way back in towards the hard point. Abiz with the claw, keeping them at bay. 3 for Abiz. Look at the operators for Godlike. They want this hard point.
Invested and invested extremely wisely. They find so much efficiency with everything they possibly could have there and get the reward for it. Nearly breaking 200 points. They pick up the majority of the time over towards P4. Galoris get very, very little, but they will have the operators of their own, maybe a little bit sooner than Godlike will again. We will, of course, be heading towards another P2. Godlike can just win it here on P1. Very unlikely with how mixy it can be, and the fact that Galoris have found a way through. This is really about the rotation over towards P2, though. Galoris soaking up some valuable time. They need as much as they can possibly get.
Yeah. Cannot let Godlike get this time. You've got to fight for it. You're starting to win the gunfights as well. The ARs have definitely stepped it up a notch over the course of the last set. Lucasen, 2 kills shy of 40. Just Lucasen things, as per usual. Galoris now looking for some kind of time here. Smokescreen is going to make things a little bit more difficult. Neutrino fighting for these kills in the middle of the map. He's going to get cut short by Lucasen. He will now hit that 40 kill mark, but Galoris here, while they're fighting for this scrap time ton. Godlike, they've got the spawns for new. A good opportunity here to put this one away.
A lot of time picked up. Time that they needed. Godlike have very little, if anything, over towards P1, but what they have got for themselves is that rotation over towards P2. They're now in control, but look at the spawns over towards the backside. Is there a potential pinch being set up now? You can see the spawn out here for Godlike. This is the moment for Galoris as they find a way through. Foki will find two. Learn is there to answer back, but here come the Annihilator from Lucas Jin. You're inside the point. Galoris find the break. It's absolutely what they needed.
Yeah, and you can still fight this one from the front as well here. Operators galore for Galoris. 4 of them being invested in towards this point. Pabzera is just firing his War Machine pellets out because why the heck not? But it's not actually doing anything. That's not where the players are. On the other side, though, it's all good because you've got Foke just watching this door. Galoris now surely not about to take the lead away from Godlike.
Both of these teams have invested every single time so wisely. The stock market will be terrified of how efficient these two teams have been with these operators. It's phenomenal play from both of them, and they have both made it count. 20 seconds to go here on P2. It is going to be a lead for Galoris as we head over to what has been their favored hill in over towards the fences, and could they finish it off here? It's been quite the comeback. I want to say they were 80 or 90 down at some stage. Godlike have really slowed down compared to their start.
I just don't understand how this has happened. Godlike just, I don't know, letting Galoris back into the game. I mean, I know fences have been kind of part of that conversation, right? But that was a massive break for them. They're on that P2, and I think it's a hill will revisit at the end of the game if Galoris are able to get this one done. But Predator Missile now coming down. Galoris just 20 seconds away. Foke will double up here. Godlike starting to feel a little bit desperate towards this fence's hard point. They are going one by one. Neutrino's investment of the War Machine is huge. That's a double that will give them an entrance to the hard point.
Prevail will find a couple as well, and now here comes the investment from Godlike. We said how good they've been for both these two teams, and they are making it count. Trunks and Prevail starting to combine together at just about the right time. Godlike have been quiet, starting to come back into it. 30 seconds to go here at P3.
Yeah. Now going to be a Purify from Trunks as well. Godlike not going to be able to finish things here regardless of what happens, but this is a chunk of time you can't afford to give away to Galoris. Galoris now starting to heat up as well in the feed through Tin. Don't want to overinvest in this one. There goes Trunks down for the count. Galoris winning the vast majority of these gunfights. This time is still worth fighting for a ton. That's a huge wave of gunfights though for Godlike. And now if you're Galoris, just go new. Stop fighting for scrap.
They're trying to fight for it still. You can see they're very close. They're still going for it. This scrap time is going to matter a little, but there is going to be a huge gunfight over towards the next hill. You can already see it on the minimap, and here it is, and it's going to be Prevail with the equalizer. The investment, again, has to be so good. Looking towards Galoris, they are going to have something of their own. Can they find it?
Here we go, Pabzera with the investment through for Godlike. Just keep an eye on where these guys are spawning. You're going to know, surely Prevail's going to find one. Trunks will double up as well. Pabzera's War Machine amounts to naught. There's the kills for Godlike, just a second away from victory here. Galoris fighting to find their way through towards the hard point. Mihawk will double up. They're looking to get the contest through. Henry Cat, can he do anything?
How can they manage to find a way through? They're still inside the point. Galoris still contesting it. They now get themselves inside. Godlike need to try and find a way through. There are the kills, and there's the win. What a map number one between the Godlike.
Play for clutching up set. Second set, they looked much more assured. Godlike, I think, significantly less so. Man, if they would have lost that one, that would have been one of the biggest chokes here in COD Mobile history.
But we were saying about all the way through, it takes one good 60 from the opposition who are quite far behind in this case from Galoris, and they found it. They got themselves well and truly back into this game. And then from that, they really did look like the team who were going to take it. It felt like the momentum was very much in their favor. But again, it felt like it was that game of cat and mouse when it comes down to the operators. It's like, okay, we're going to invest this time, you're going to invest this time. And it just felt like that last hill, both teams had some availability, and it worked out more for the side of Godlike. Really, you have to give a huge shout out to the equalizer that comes on through, I think, from Prevail. I mean, that is the difference maker in this game. And they're going to be letting them know about it. Huge win for Godlike in map number one. And one that I would think you look at, Galoris, important.
We'll get to that here in the hard point.
It's a fun as well. Not playing here on the old school. Destroy from Galoris did look.
Was kind of all in the.
In this one, though, I think. Well, we still got plenty in this one. We've got 3 more
camps, right? The thing is, it just hasn't earlier on today. And though we've got Kurahana things here coming into this one.
Yeah. Let's see if you can bring it to the table. You want to keep a hold of them as long as possible. You don't want to be going 0 and 2 there, I think. So it was nice to see Animus putting up a fight. Let's see how they go on and do out throughout the rest of the day. But relevant of that, Kurahana coming up here in the Search and Destroy. Both these two teams well versed in the art of S&D. which way this one is going to go. I'm not 100% sure. Honestly, I think based off map number 1, yeah, really good performance. Godlike. It's important that they found that. But what we've seen from Galoris today in terms of search and destroy is promising.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, I mentioned the sniper rifle of Lucas in on the side of Galoris. For Godlike, I'm expecting Abiz to do bits. Right now, though, at the start of this, the opening trades are definitively in favor of Galoris. An early hit from Godlike towards B has gone all right. And I love this reaction from Godlike. You don't have the numbers to recommit towards a site. Back away. Think about it. You've got a lot of time to play in this round.
In a good position now. If you're on the side of Galoris. 4 versus 2 scenario. It's a hard one to lose, especially if Luxion's going to find another. So now you've got Neutrino left in a 1 versus 4. Tough situation.
Yeah, I just don't know why you'd go back towards the site. There's no real reason to. You're kind of just getting over aggressive there for no reason. Galoris aren't going to move away. To be fair, Mihawk is going to get aggressive for Galoris. I think they can kind of afford that, though, considering they're in a 4 versus 1. You take that trade all day long. You now know more or less where Neutrino is positioned, and you'll reposition yourselves accordingly. Neutrino, 1 versus 3. Let's see if you can get it done.
It's so tough. You don't have anything to help you here. If you're Neutrino, you would need to find the ace. Just super difficult position. Really good start here from Galoris. Are more than likely going to find this round. Neutrino is going to have time to go around and get a hold of that bomb with 25 seconds to go. The shot is going to whiff from Lucas. That's not something you say very often. The Foki will not want to 0 now to Galoris.
And I'm always surprised in a way, right, that they didn't just take the bomb straight for a rotation. Maybe they were hoping that, hey, we're going to go straight for the rotation, bait Galoris, excuse me, into rotating away towards A, but Galoris just didn't even fall for it even slightly. So if that was the play call from Godlike, it was not the best one. Godlike now, though, on the offense. Different look, straight towards A, through the cut. Mihawk, how much damage can they do? That is a big pick from Prevail at the start of the round.
Slow them down. The opportunity. Lucas and Pabzera once again. The snipers on this map, just so influential, and they're getting the job done right now. Hen's going to find another that's automatically 4 versus 2 in favor of Galoris.
It just leaves Prevail in such an awkward spot, right? You've got to get this bomb out. You're not even focused on getting a kill here. You've just got to try and get this bomb away towards your teammate. There could be a bit of COD timing on your side, perhaps, but you've got to win this opening gunfight versus Pabzera. There's side chow, and that's unfortunate. You've got a 9-9 in your hand, buddy. You've got to win that gunfight all day long. Trunks is not even going to try to finish the 5 versus 5, apparently. And that's another round on the board here for Galoris.
Really good defense so far. Holding it down. These snipers are doing damage. They're giving them the number advantage, and that is working out fantastically. Let's see if they can keep this up. I think first blood's going to be super important, as it usually is. Those opening salvos really been working out, but this time around, Galoris completely different. Look towards their defense, straight out on the mid-map, and just happy to go toe-to-toe, and it's kind of worked out here because Godlike are already here as well. But pinned back into their spawn, that's the problem now for the attacking team. It's hard for them to get out of this position.
Yep. I think that's the play call from Galoris, right? Even if you lose a body in this situation, you force Godlike to not even make a look towards either of these sites at this point. And now I think the next step for Galoris is do not get over-aggressive yourselves. Foke still a lot to do, though, 1B. Got help from Mihawk in close proximity. Henry Cat's going to get Trunks elsewhere. Foke, tag on towards Learn. Learn should Scarper here, try and get away with his life, and they do. So you get some information, but again, that problem that you can't get on towards sight still remains. Learn will find one. Second kill on towards Foke. No, not going to happen, not when Foke has an R9 at close range.
Yeah, that was a big gunfight. If Learn wins that, all of a sudden you've got a potential 3 versus 1 on site. As it goes, though, you now have a 2 versus 4 that is becoming more and more difficult as time goes on. Prevail left all alone. Galoris looking to find themselves their 3rd round in a row. It is very much on its way. A very solid performance here in the search and destroy so far. Looking fantastic. Honestly, outside of the first few rounds up against Wolves today, their search and destroy has been absolutely flawless. Can they continue with the 3 to the good now?
Then the objective.
They're just being so oppressive to Godlike. It really does feel like the key to victory here in Kurahana so often is winning your opening sniper battles, and Godlike really haven't been able to do that. Abiz has been totally silent so far through the first 3 rounds. Can they get anything done here? Smoke's going to give them the coverage. They run right into Lucasin. Why are you going for the over-aggression there? You know that there's going to be a player all the way back. Learn then kind of stuck as an island. Henry Cat's going to take advantage of that all day long. Finally, though, Abiz is on the board. Pabzera looks to take control of the lane. Abiz will take control of that.
Heads up play from Abiz, though. Knows a couple of kills coming over that other side. knows that Galory are probably going to try and take a little bit more map control. Catches him off guard, and all of a sudden we'll see Pabs fighting him round number 5. There's another kill though. Hen will find it. He's really been having a lot of fun over this side of the map. A has been locked down entirely. Godlike have actually managed to find a little bit of timing somewhere though. Trunks is going to find himself behind one player. Doesn't expect Lucasjin behind him at that stage though. Ships in the night. Speeds will find that, but that's not going to be enough. Galory will find their 4th in a row. This is dominant so far.
And that was probably the best look that we've seen from Godlike thus far in this search and destroy. They're at least giving a different look to Galory. I think that's the closest Godlike have gotten to getting the bomb down, to be fair. Having a good look, but I think just slight over-aggression early on in the round, getting in positions you don't really need to be in. It's not working out for Godlike thus far. Galory going for, once again, an aggressive look towards B. Through the middle cut here. A lot to do if you're Fokke. Gets overwhelmed by 2 players, but one of those will fall by way of trade. Henry Cat able to double up on B as well. So numbers once again favoring Galory.
Seem to be well and truly in control of this one. The 3 versus 3 on the cards. Oh, there it was. Neutrino will get taken down almost immediately. And now again, you're left all alone. You're throwing your hands up, brother. You're not happy about something.
I just feel like it's so scattered from Godlike. There's no timing here. It's so unlike them. I don't know. I don't know, dude. It's just, it feels like Godlike. I know that they're not playing with their full regular 5-man roster as it were, right? Skull Guys here, but right now what we're seeing from them is just the timing. You could have timed that way better and hit it at the same time, but they just didn't. Galory, I mean, they'll take advantage of that all day long. I mean, that's what's been happening so far.
One of the streams, Vitality up 1-0 against Tribe. Big map number 1 for them as well as it was for Godlike. Q9 taking on 4 Magic as well over on Charlie. You can keep an eye on that on the other streams, but this one, well, if you're a Godlike fan, you might want to tune out just for a couple of minutes because, well, maybe not. Maybe they get their first one on the board. Pabsra is left on his own in a 1 versus 2, make it a 1 versus 1. This is a huge opportunity for Godlike to get on the board.
Big play there from Trunks. Now the 1 versus 1. Sniper should be good for Pabzera. He's going to whiff the first shot, whiffs the second as well. First time the charm. No, Learn's getting some shots in. That might make Pabzera rethink this. Go away for the reposition here. Switch away towards the Fennec. And Learn's not going to expect that he's got this in his hand. Instead, Learn's just going to go for the bomb plant.
It's a game of cat and mouse. Learn will find a way out, and he has spotted him though, and Pabzera. As you said, Learn will not be expecting this. He's just trying to throw the shoulders, trying to take his time. Time 19 in hand here for Learn, but they're just going to do a ring around the rosy. Both players getting the timing working out here for Learn, but the gunfight does as well. It's the first round on the board for Godlike. Galory eventually do bleed. 1 versus 1 is what it took. Well played from Learn.
Well played from Trunks as well. I want to say that would have been a round for Galory without a shadow of a doubt if it weren't for Trunks finding that route through the middle of the map and picking up a couple of kills that gives Learn the chance for the 1 versus 1.
Grenade out.
So Godlike now on the board as we switch sides here. Let's see what their defense is like. It is just as aggressive, if not more so than Galory. But look at this. This aggressiveness coming through. Prevail's going right deep into the offensive spawn. You have to be careful about doing this because you can very often find yourself in a position where you're going to end up favoring the offensive side.
Don't want to back him into a corner too much. There's a metaphor in there somewhere, but irrelevant. We'll try and not dig that one out too early in the tournament. He's holding down the angles here. In fairness, we've got, like, you know, that's just a really, really poor attacking side from them. They would have liked a couple more, but defensive side you would favor on this map in particular. But to the tune of 5-1, I'm not 100% sure you'd be happy with that if you got, like, here comes the aggression. No, Lucasjin's going to have to back on down. 7 kills to his name. He's looking to add to that tally. Pabzera can add to his. If he can find a second here as well, that would be phenomenal. Doesn't get it. Lucasjin's there for the trade, though. Continues to survive. Doesn't get the shot. And it's going to be Fokke left now in a 1 versus 2. And I don't think they'll be aware of his positioning here whatsoever. The big flank coming on through here, Brody. This is not readable.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to know that he's on this side of the map because obviously he just picked up a kill, but in terms of which bomb he's actually gone to, they'll soon know because as soon as they see that A's clear, they should know it's B. The question for me is how quickly Fokke's going to get this Brock down. Because if he does it quick enough and gets himself in a position, he could get some good timing. But with 25 seconds left here, his options are limited. You got to make a decision fast. If you're rotating, do it now. If not, get back to B and get yourself in these gunfights.
Neutrino spots him out. And that just makes Fokke's job so much more difficult.
It's not over yet.
Finds the kill. Another round over towards the side of Godlike. And again, look, I think when Galorus were taking on Wolves, it was a game of two halves, especially when it comes down to the defensive and the attacker side. Could that be the case here? Can Godlike find a way back? They find a couple more rounds, things start getting a little bit scary. Grenades and code going out, trying to find something with the utility as Galorus starting their position again. Very, very deep into their spawn once more here, Brody. Didn't work out last time. And second time the charm.
Galorus just waiting for Godlike to get over aggressive hit. Nade over the top. Should connect on towards Hen. Oh my god, Hen is so weak right now. You can barely see his health bar. He's incredibly fortunate that need to take him out of the round. But if you're Godlike, you've got information now. Nade on towards Trunks. Doesn't actually connect here, but Foke's R9 will. So Galorus slowly but surely progressing towards the A site. If you're a Bees, you need help.
It's a big round for Galorus if they can find it. Godlike need to slow them down. You do not want them to be on match point. Starting to make a bit of a squeeze here over towards A. Dangerous now for the side of Godlike. Oh, but you've got to win that gunfight if you're Buggy. You've got to manage to clean him up if you can. Beast does get taken down. 2 versus 4 in favor of Galorus. They should be able to get this bomb down shortly. Here comes Mihawk behind them as well. This is a very, very solid attack from Galorus. It just worked out so well. They win the gunfights where they need to. They flank at the right time. And Galorus find themselves 6-2 from the gun.
And just slowly chipping away at the Godlike defense there. Winning that opening gunfight, I think, was just everything Godlike. I mean, they were quick enough on the reaction, right? They brought players over towards the side, but still, teamwork was not as good as they would like. Galorus will take advantage now on a map point here. They're going to tie the series up at 1-1. For Galorus, it has just been so slow on these offenses. A lovely hit from a Bees. He will find the kill, but the trade is also good from Pabzera, so you kind of have to wonder, was that really worth it?
Very much a sacrificial lamb at that stage, wasn't it? I think he knew he'd probably get traded. Would have had to take some kind of whiff from there for that not to get traded out. Either way, these two teams still very even across the board, 4 versus 4. See, Galorus already, I mean, it's been a similar scenario for them. They're happy to play really slow on their attacks. They're happy to take their time. Sometimes can be punished for that on Kurahana, but right now it's working out for them. They are 1 round away at Godlike. A minimum of 6 rounds needed at this stage. Push over towards B, starting to become an option here for Galorus now. You can see Godlike are here with 55 seconds to go, but this next gunfight could be huge. It's going to be found. Lone Ball drop prevails there for the trade. 3v3.
Yeah, that's the big thing, is Prevail playing his life. Surely he does not get away in this situation. Surely not. No, he doesn't. Pabzera with a brilliant trade, though. Still, Godlike looking to capitalize. Big trade from Trunks will bring this down to a 2 versus 2. And I still feel like Neutrino could put the numbers further in their favor if he gets some good timing. Galorus are looking for a way out here. Do they find it? No, team shots are good. Bring from behind though, Neutrino spraying and praying for that final kill. Will bring it to a 1 versus 1.
Because he's seen them on the B site and then pushed them out. He knew that they were going to be going onto the cross. They find one before Lukashin can find another. He's got the read on him. Neutrino knows exactly where Pabzera is at this stage. At least feels like he should be able to find it. This is a round for Godlike. Big plays coming in from Neutrino. 6-3. Starting to close that gap.
Oh, sweat off the brow for Godlike there. Able to win the 1 versus 1. Keep themselves alive in this search and destroy. Hopes of 2-0 in Galorus still on the cards. Aggression here from both sides. Going to hit the bomb. Double blind here towards B. Godlike have numbers, but it does not matter to Mihawk and Henry Cat. Doesn't matter to Henry Cat. He will double up. Trunks will fire back 2 of his own. Now just a 1 versus 3 here for Abyss.
Needs to find it to stay in the search and destroy. Or control beckons.
Bomb has been planted.
Galorus played this game very passively on their attack throughout the majority of the game, and now they're starting to play passively as they get away from the bomb that they have now planted. Pabzera are going to go for the challenge. Beast finds another. Mihawk is there to just about solidify it. And the series is all tied up in the blink of an eye. Continues.
Though that was a Godlike. There were certainly attempts. I think that round before hit towards the B site was a pretty good one, but even that went awry as they went too deep in towards the site. For the most part, though, Galorus' defense was rock solid. And then you went to the other side. I think this Galorus were much better at playing as a team on the offense, making sure they knew the exact times to hit the opposition and get control of the sites. Godlike, I think, just outpaced in search and destroy. And kind of bringing it back to that conversation point you already brought up there, mate, was that, you know, Galorus have actually been pretty good at search and destroy. It feels like it's something they've definitively worked on. We already knew they were good at control from the Latin America Snapdragon Pro Series, so work on your search and destroys because you're going to need that against the best of the best here.
Putting up impressive poised as we head into teams that really do
ahead of time. You get to the either way.
Control. Probably a little
like competitive. Proper will be smiling. So frustrating to deal with.
How many? Okay, is it indicative of skill? You have to do it at the right time.
Yeah, I think part of that, right, the conversation around spawn traps is the decision you make when you go for a spawn trap is that you're expecting to get the kills to put the teams in the spawn trap. If you don't, you're losing a man for map control, right? You've not got somebody on the map. That's less pressure, and it can definitely come back to bite you. We've seen it a lot. For these two teams, though, final map here for one of these two teams. It's about to be a 2-1 record. For the other one, they've lost their last lifeline.
Which way is this one going to go? I've got no idea, Brody, to be honest with you. Answering my own questions. It's so difficult to separate these two squads right now. Gallerus have found themselves with a very decent push over towards A almost immediately. You can see B is trying to make a bit of a flank already. He will be trying to get that squeeze if he can. He needs his teammates to start winning a couple of gunfights, and they will very much answer that question and find them themselves. And will find a way through, though. The pressure's still here.
Yeah, spawn trap starting to be put together here by Godlike. It's Abees who's doing it, and I think at the moment, even if this isn't a spawn trap from Abees, it is just kind of a distraction play. Abees is winning those gunfights, by the way. He picks up, I think, at least 3 kills on that effort, and the one player that Gallerus were looking to get in behind enemy lines is also going to get cut down. So for Godlike, all things are looking pretty good at the moment. Gallerus, just 40 seconds to get something going here. It's a straight beeline towards B. Henry Cat, can he follow up with the kills? Pre-fire not good for the second one. Beats the reload and runs right into Trunks. That's unfortunate.
That's the options now for Gallerus. Do you make that push over towards the easier rail? Do you invest in this little bit of pressure that you have over towards B? I mean, when these next couple of gunfights and you haven't been able to do so, Neutrino causing all sorts of problems, but these next couple of gunfights are really what's going to determine how things go down. Pabsro will find one on this outside, but the rest of his team are not holding up their end of the bargain. The only person really alive at any stage here is going to be heading over towards the A side. Prevail finds a couple on the respawn. Finds a couple. He's found 6 out of nothing. I'm not even paying attention to the spawn trap that's going on because of the fights over towards the point. Still pressure here from Gallerus. They may well be down 7 lives, but if they can get a hold of A, extends that time and gives them the opportunity.
Yeah, and you could just easily get a spawn trap on the other side as well. All it takes is one wave of gunfights, not even a full wave, and you're back into the conversation. So do not count out Gallerus at this stage. But they've got to be careful about potential spawn trap and map control. Here, Neutrino's waiting for the route to be taken by Henry Cat and Pabzera, and you guys are going to get one-way tickets straight into the line of sight of Trunks, who is waiting in the spawn. Trunks will only pick up 1, though. Gunfight's also being won from Gallerus, but we talked about that life problem here for Gallerus. It has only grown. They're down to the final 5 here. No more mistakes.
Oh, and there's one from Focky. He doesn't find it. Lukashenko can answer back, but Gallerus will be down numbers, but Mihawk finds 2. These are big kills. They can now start putting pressure in over towards B. Those lives are not in their favor. You're just going to get on the point. He goes for the pressure, doesn't find it. Leaves his teammates left in a 3 versus 9. That is still achievable.
But they're going to get the Predator missile out from Prevail. Predator will only find 1. Lucasing able to double up.
Hen's invested.
2 versus 7 from Gallerus. Hen is going to invest, and I don't necessarily like that play call. Lucasin, phenomenal player. He's not going to do anything. And I'll get some positives out of the end of that round, right? You draw the Predator missile out, you draw the War Machine. But on the other side, you also invest a Sparrow? I don't know. I feel for Gallerus, just cut your losses. Just go into the next round with an Operator.
Either way, the investment comes in, does not pay off. And there was a couple of questionable plays, though, especially pushing over down towards the stairs from Gallerus, that trying to take off or bite off more than they can possibly chew. Those are not easy kills to find, but these ones in over towards A on the defensive side apparently are. They find a couple. Perhaps they're playing passively here with the War Machine that he still has available, and then we'll start to spray that out. We'll back Godlike down. Not much to speak of for either side so far. Gallerus with plenty of map control. Godlike trying to get something going down the outside. Spawn trap is potentially on the cards. That was really a route to the win for them in that previous round. They're going to try and get something going here again, but so far, both teams evenly matched. Not a lot of map control for either.
Yeah, Godlike are trying to get players through in potential spawn trap. It's not really working so far. I think they're going to have to go for plan B, which is literally the B control zone, especially as more kills are now coming through for Galory. Prevail really behind him. Oh, hits the reload and somehow picks up the kill against Pabzera. How has that happened? Pabzera, that's unfortunate. Prevail going to distract again enough for Godlike to get that second tick on B. This is only one player, by the way, making this capture happen. Sabiz, who has the Annihilator in the back pocket ready to go, doesn't necessarily need it, but might have wanted it in that situation as Mihawk goes for the jump chow. There's the rest of the kills. And now just down to Trunks. Claw in hand. What damage can he do? Can he open the door for the rest of the team?
Oh, he gets the snap on Lucashin, and all of a sudden that is going to open up the door at least slightly. One kill's going to come through from Mihawk. That is going to slow them down. There was actually a little bit of spawn killing going on, but Godlike have actually managed to find a way through. Over towards the B side. It looks like they aren't going to find a push here. Not quite. And Lucashin will shut this one down. 2 ticks over towards B, already locked in from the side of Godlike, but they need 3 more over towards A and 1 more over towards B. If they want to extend this time, they need to make a move right now.
Fokke looking to do the damage. The R9, oh, that's a whiff and a half. A couple of players do get through. There is a bit of a safety net there for the Gallerist, though. Players still hanging about on the defense here, but no time for Godlike to make it happen. And there were some real good looks there from Godlike. They could just never get enough players through towards the defensive side.
Good job from the side of Gallerist, though. Just keeping them at bay. That's always the thing, though. It feels like the carrot was dangled over towards both sides, but you weren't quite in the position to finalize a point. It's always difficult where you feel like you're close, so you keep going towards it. You're trying to get aggressive, trying to make something happen, but not quite there. Finding themselves all tied up now. Arguably a better attacking round coming out from Gallerist, as they did get a couple more ticks, at least extended that time. So bear that in mind if we do go to a deciding round, but wow. Head finds 2. That's now a very dangerous position for him to be in. Now with the Sparrow, the respawn starting to come through, and you are just running into explosive arrows that find absolutely nothing. A B spins around, finds the kill, and then the other side of things, there's going to be spawn kills coming in from here as well. Both 2 teams positioned in the middle of the map.
Yeah, I think the Sparrow is not necessarily the best operator sometimes to go for that spawn trap. What is a good operator, though, is basically Lucasin with a sniper rifle. He's going to get a collat there in a respawn, by the way. Neutrino now on the other side, though, needs to be dealt with, and he will be. Big kills may be made by Henry Cap. Now all the focus can be made towards the point. You've got 2 ticks already through, and if you're a Godlike, you're just going to give this one up. That's absolutely the right play call. Defend A, because right now you only have 1 body on it.
Utility was sent over towards B to try and get something going for the side of Godlike. They couldn't find anything with it. Now they're trying to transition here. Fokke, can he find the kill? Not quite. But look at the big double wrap coming around here from 2 players from Gallerist. They're going for the spawn trap to try and keep them in. It's the same for a B's. Both 2 teams kind of in a similar position right now, but the kill's slightly on Gallerist's side.
Yeah, you've got a claw from Mihawk right now, so that was kind of the idea, I think. Let's get an operator that's actually useful for the spawn trap in that position. It would have won you the round, but there's still a couple of ways for Gallerist to do this one. You've basically removed everybody from Godlike out of A. You know, you've got advanced guards as well. Here comes the Sparrow from Lurn. Immediately shut down by that flanking player. Big kills from Pabzera. Gallerist now starting to sweep Godlike.
2 ticks about to income here for the side of Gallerist. They find a little bit more. You've got to get going if you decide to Godlike to get onto the point. This is going to be a lead for the Brazilian squad. There you go. The attack falls their way. 2-1 to the good. Gallerist 1 round away from going into the next Swiss round.
Phenomenal play from Pabzera there with that flanking. Shut down Lurn before the Sparrow could even really come into effect. So that is an operator that will not be going into this potentially final round. And look at the amount of utility that Gallerist have to make this one work. They could effectively bring everything out all at once, sweep Godlike, and get a spawn trap together. Of course, that's an ideal situation. That doesn't necessarily guarantee it, but they could well do it. And the one operator that Godlike do have, they're going to get it out. On the other side, Lucas Annihilator removes a beast from the play for Godlike now. What do? War Machine on the other side. Here comes that wipe.
Trying to put the pressure on. There's 3 from Pabzera. The investment paying off. 1 minute and 12 seconds to go here for the side of Godlike, but they are starting to get pinned back. 2 huge kills to find up, but Mihawk's going to find 2 of his own with the claw. They do shut him down. So the threat of that spawn trap nullified for now.
Hunter-killer drone.
Godlike still in a decent enough position here. Only find themselves 3 lives down. Trying to find a force over towards that A side.
Now, we'll say as well, there's not a lot of investment there or there's a massive investment from Gallerist. You don't actually get that much for it, right? You've got a free life advantage at this point. All 4 of those operators did come out, and now you're in a position where Godlike have 3 operators ready to go. As I said, you're only 2 lives down. you could well use them to get control of A. Whether or not you want to make that investment is of their own volition, but here we go. Neutrino's going to do exactly that. One player got through, not long for this world though is Fokke. Neutrino just spamming War Machine pallets left, right, and center. Godlike about to capture A. I don't think Galorus are going to go for this one.
Lukashin overextended over towards that B side, trying to maybe get something going. You can see they're already trying to answer to what potentially could be a spawn trap on the other side of things, trying to hold it down over towards the guns. They've got to find these gunfights. They do. Pabdra cleans that up. So it's now all about the fights coming down the B side of the map. You can see already, Galorus were trying to set themselves up at that higher positional line. Slow them down as quickly as you can. Godlike have got to pick their way out of their spawn.
Hostile hunter killer drone inbound.
They're looking for a way out. Godlike, could it be with the Annihilator? No, an investment that goes awry almost immediately. That 4-life advantage from the start of this round really hasn't changed throughout the entirety of it. Galorus looking to bring this one home. Henry Cat Sparrow amounts to absolutely nothing. Kills now starting to come through here from Godlike, and they've got one player that's pushed all the way up. If Trunks can do something huge towards the B zone, there might be a chance for Godlike.
Have Galorus overstepped up because they haven't kept an eye out on Trunks. Oh, he gets caught with a Hunter Killer drone, but finds the kill with it. Will that release his teammates? They'll actually find a way through here. Mihawk will find nothing but death, and all of a sudden, Godlike do have some position in around this point. Next couple of gunfights are going to go their way, and they have done.
They've got players pushing through as well. Prevail. Can he find these players coming off the back of the spawn? 5 versus 6 scenario. You really need these kills, but no, he gets shut down. Now Annihilator from a beast. What can he find? Stacking on the point are Godlike here. They want to get these kills.
The Annihilator has to be huge. He's found absolutely nothing. Fokke will find one. Here comes the collapse. Galorus just collapse as they need to. One player left, and that is going to be 8. Godlike gets swept in the end.
Phenomenal control. America season. I think, you know, they proved that they definitely were in the search and destroy in the control as we look back towards what happened in that map 3.
And it just felt like they were the ones in control of every single round to a certain degree. I mean, what other word am I going to use?
I know,
scout at me like that. How am I supposed to do that? Either way, it felt like they were the ones that were in the position where they can move forward and actually look like they're going to win the round. So you want me to spell it out for you there?
Yeah, thank you, mate. Appreciate it.
So it always felt like their game to lose. The search and destroy dominant. If they start to fix up their hardpoint as the tournament goes on, they will be a real threat to some of these teams.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, hardpoint I think is where they need to look, but this control in particular, I got to give them a massive shout out. I mean, beyond the round number 3, which they still ended up doing well in, their operators are on point, and I think that's just such a massive thing here in control.
Both really through in the competition.
I think especially to find
Really, Galorus